So let's make sure this works. So what we're going to talk about today, again, 10, 15 minutes tops, will be Georgia's climate. Now, two of your words on your vocabulary quiz were weather and climate. What's weather? Okay. It's, you look outside and it's raining. That's weather. You look outside and it's snowing. That's weather. It's sunny. That's weather. Okay. Climate, on the other hand, is different, isn't it? So, weather, we don't have that. I said you're going to have to write it on a sheet of paper. Weather is exactly what we just said. It's the condition on a particular day. But actually, we could say weather is the condition at a particular moment, right? Because weather changes. All you got to do is look outside. It was overcast this morning. Right now it's cloudy, but the sun is peeking through. So we would say it is partly cloudy or partly sunny, depending on your outlook, I suppose. I'll go with partly sunny. I'm an optimistic guy. And you see the picture there from WSB. Snow, that's weather. All right. Climate, on the other hand, is weather over a long period of time. And we say 25 years. Does climate change? Okay. Well, as one of my seminary professors once told me, actually he told the class I was in, the geologic record does not lie. If you find it in the geologic record, that's what happened. So when people start saying that dinosaurs didn't exist, well, where did those fossils come from? They're part of the geologic record. They exist. They did exist. We can do the same thing with climate. We can look at the geologic record and we can see what the climate was for a period of time. Here's a question for you. You ready? Have you ever seen a woolly mammoth running around in your backyard? I do not believe you, Veronica Gillis. No, we haven't. Did they live here in Georgia? Yes, they did. What happened? Why did they die? There was climate change. So this idea of climate change is not something that is new. Of course there's climate change. The world has always gone through climate change. Is it exacerbated? That's our word for the day. Exacerbated, made worse by human beings living on the earth and using fluorocarbons and petroleum products and all that good stuff? Yeah. But we can't say that we as humanity are the cause of global warming. Global warming has always existed. Temperatures have gotten higher. They've also gotten lower. Okay? You remember I talked to you last week about the volcano in 1883, the Krakatoa volcano. It erupted, and it literally changed not necessarily the climate because it wasn't a long period of time, but it did change the weather. Okay? The temperature dropped because of the particles in the air. So weather, any particular day, really any particular moment, climate over a long period of time. I was watching the news last night, and they were talking about the drought in Arizona, Utah, New Mexico. If it goes up, I'm going to punch you right in the throat. Okay, so Arizona, Utah, probably New Mexico, probably parts of Alaska and Southern California. There's a little lake called, well, it is little now, called Powell Lake, and it is actually on the Colorado, I believe. Well, they've been in a drought, a severe drought for 20 years. Yeah. No, I didn't say Alaska. I said Arizona. I may have said Alaska, but I meant Arizona. Don't question me, young Sherwood. Honestly, I may have. But they've experienced severe drought for a 20-year period. As a result, we could argue that the climate is changing, although not all that much because it's desert already. Anywho, so climates do change. And just like climate represents weather over a long period of time, climate, it takes a long period of time for us to say the climate changed. Okay? All right. The only thing you need to write here is Georgia is in a humid subtropical climate. This right here. In fact, most of, if not all of, the southeastern United States is a humid subtropical climate. Humid subtropical climate. What does that mean? We're not in the tropics. It's hot. It's humid. We have a lot of green stuff growing around, don't we? Yeah. Why? Because we live in a humid subtropical climate. Vegetation grows. It likes it. It's like being in a hothouse all the time. All right. You do need to write that. So what about Georgia's climate? Well, our location, remember location, one of our connecting themes, very important when we start talking about the economy, when we start talking about culture, society. Location plays a very important role. And here it plays a very important role in our climate, which has an impact on what we can grow, what our economy is like, how people live, that sort of thing. So Georgia's location causes us to have a temperate or mild climate. And you might not think so when you walk outside and, your face melts off because it's so hot. Or you take a shower and you sweat while you're in the shower because it's so humid. But Georgia really is what we would consider a mild or temperate climate. There's not a lot of variation. There's about a 20-degree variation if you look at the chart between the low in any given month, these are averages, and the high in any given month. That's pretty temperate. We don't have wide ranges in temperature. You go out to the desert Southwest, and it can be 40 at night and 112 during the day. That's a huge temperature difference. That's not a temperate or mild climate. It's very harsh. Go to Alaska. You're looking at -6 degrees. That's pretty harsh. Okay? And there's some benefit to living in such an area. So in North Georgia, we would have cool summers, cold winters. Where we live, really central Georgia to the south, we have hot summers. Nobody's going to debate that with you. And then pretty mild winters. We don't get a lot of cold weather. We don't receive a lot of frozen precipitation, unfortunately. We take our snow day in May, which I'm okay with that. And again, if you look at it, I don't know how old this chart is. It's probably several years old, but it's still fairly accurate. Our average summer temperatures are in the high 80s, low 90s. It's really unusual if it gets into 98, 99, 100. We haven't had much of that. We've had more of it in August than we did in June and July. You know why? Because school started. You know why else? football season started. So I think it was 85 degrees at kickoff Friday night. It was hot. It was hot. I know. You know where I was? In the air conditioning, brother. That's right. All right. Again, South Georgia, we would have hotter summers. Temperatures are higher, not only in the summer but in the winter. So, what does that do? Well, that's a hurricane. In case you were wondering. Yeah, and I can't remember what hurricane that is, but it was pretty nasty. It was not Katrina. So, yeah, I am not going to argue with that. So Georgia's, you need to write that statement right there. Georgia's mild climate affects the state in 4 ways. And I'm going to tell you what to write. There's going to be a lot of words up on the screen. You do not have to write everything. I will tell you exactly what to write. No more than how many words per? No more than 2 per? There you go. You hadn't finished what? Okay. All right. Apparently that was funny. I don't know why. All right, here we go. So, a lot of words, you got to write one. Okay? And that word is agriculture. Because of our mild temperatures, our mild climate, we have a longer growing period than most places. For example, our growing season is longer than the growing season you would find in Alaska. Why? Mild temperatures. In fact, there are portions of Georgia where you can farm year-round. You can plant different crops year-round because of that mild climate. So just write agriculture. If you want to be sophisticated, if you want to be plain Jane, write farming. Okay? In fact, as we begin to take a look at Georgia's history, we're going to see that agriculture, farming, has been or has had a huge impact on our economy, both good and bad, as we will see. All right, you ready? Here we go. 2 words. Cool summers, cold winters. In other words, really temperate, mild, temperate climate. But we go up in the mountains, it's a little colder, and that attracts hikers, skiers, people that enjoy the outdoors. So, the 2 words you need to write for number 2. Recreation. I told you. Recreation, north. Recreation, north. That's 2 words. I told you I would tell you what to write. Your classmates, Caleb, I swear. Recreation and north. Okay? People can get out. They can enjoy the outdoors. Even in the winter, they can enjoy the outdoors, hiking, skiing. I guess if you're really a brave soul, you can go whitewater rafting during the winter. Wouldn't advise it. Did you talk to your mama? Yeah, that was a great story, wasn't it? Yeah. I don't know if that was the trip that me and Grandma had to run across the interstate to rescue this woman that had been in an accident. I think that was another one. Yeah. You can ask Sandra about that one. So, 2 words for number 3. Recreation, south. Okay, the beach, swimming, fishing. Again, you can still go hiking at the beach, but it allows people to get outside and it allows people to enjoy nature. And it also attracts people from the north who don't like freezing to death during the winter. They come and spend the winter in Georgia or Florida, I suppose. All them old people down in Florida. They'd be crazy. All right. 2 words. Sunbelt. We are, and along with South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Texas, we are part of what is called the Sun Belt. indicating we get a lot of sunshine. We do. Because of that, our climate is warm. One of the things that has happened because we live in the Sun Belt is corporations and people have been attracted to the area for relocation. Again, I know everybody in here loves to get up in the morning and go to school, right? You do. I do. I enjoy getting up and going to work every morning for the most part. But I'll guarantee you this. I would rather get up and it be 60 degrees outside and me have to go to work than to get up and it be 6 degrees outside and me have to go to work. Okay? And a lot of people feel that way. A lot of corporations feel like they get more productivity out of their workers if they live in a warm climate. And so many of those have relocated to Georgia. A lot of major corporations were already here, but others have relocated here to Georgia. So number 4, Sun Belt and everything that involves. All right, tomorrow. Tomorrow. Y'all aren't listening to me because I hear you talking. Tomorrow we will begin looking at Georgia's prehistory, and that will also involve Native Americans. In fact, primarily Native Americans. And I think tomorrow you'll probably get your textbook. So be ready for that. Yeah. It's okay, Ethan. What? They haven't come in yet. You know, it takes them, they got to do their thing. All right. Everybody turn in their map. If you haven't already. Map. Of course you do. Let's put it in the black tray if you would.